Good evening, everyone viewing us out there in YouTube land. Introducing peaceful protester Wade Kelley.
Hello! Thank you, Ethan Hyatt. Hello, and welcome to my TV show on the YouTube network with a potential audience of over 2 billion people. Coming to you live from the 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, where I am peacefully protesting and advocating for the homeless here in Santa Monica and Los Angeles County and California and the whole US of A, or the whole wide world if we could do it. But we have to start somewhere, so we might as well start right here in Santa Monica.
With 2 billion
With
people.
a potential audience of over 2 billion people. That's right. Start right here in Santa Monica because, you know, we need to start where we are, and we need to stand up and make things better for the people that are right here. We have a lot of homeless people right here in Santa Monica, this very wealthy city of Santa Monica, in this very wealthy county of Los Angeles, in this 4th largest economy of the whole wide world, California, in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world, the United States. And we need to stand up for people's rights right here and say, listen, nobody should be starving in the richest, most powerful country in the world. Nobody should be living in the streets and not having a decent place to live in the richest, most powerful country in the world. And nobody should be doing without a good quality education or health care in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. And we need to stand up against our authoritarian government that is in power right now, that during this government shutdown actually stopped paying for people to have food. That's right. With all of the problems that were going on in this country during this shutdown of our government, our fearless leader decided, instead of using that emergency funds that are there for emergencies, he wasn't going to use that money to feed the poor people. He didn't want to feed the poor people. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to the floor. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is gonna work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Cause if you don't feed them, you don't have to treat them. And since he can't eat them, he'll starve the poor. Cause if you don't food them, you don't have to include them. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to your door. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care, Obamacare no more. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Too many poor folks getting fat. Only a president should be able to look like that. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to your door. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Cause if you don't, cause if they're not digesting, they might be protesting. Let's try it again. Cause if they're digesting, they might be protesting. Rich people invest in starve the poor. And if they aren't eating, they could be treating. If they aren't eating, they don't need no treating. Rich people repeating, starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to your door. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care, Obamacare no more. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Because if you don't feed them, you don't have to treat them. And since he can't eat them, he'll starve the poor. Because if you don't food them, you don't have to include them. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. Whew. Thank you, peace. That's right, we need to keep standing up and talking about this evildoer in the White House, the one who would starve poor people. Starve poor people because other poor people want to have affordable insurance. How about them apples? The Democrats closed down the government because we wanted poor people to be able to have affordable health insurance. And to top that off, the president says, well, just for that, I won't feed the poor people. I won't feed those poor people that need to have food. Now, if anybody remembers anything from this government shutdown, that is what we need to remember. That while people are trying to stand up for affordable health care, Trump tried to starve the poor people. I think that's all you need to know about this president, really. That's his administration in a nutshell. They want to privatize all the health care, and they want to make it harder for poor people to live. You know, there are 10 states right now in this country, at least 10 states, that still don't have poor people insurance in this country. Now, California is not perfect, and I do not like our governor, Governor Newsom, because he has not built affordable housing or done enough to help lift people out of poverty. I do not like him, but we do have health care for the poor here in California. And that's a beautiful thing. I was able to get my teeth cleaned not too long ago, and I only make about $12,000 a year. You see, I'm old, and I still got some of my own teeth. And California's dental plan for the poor people helps me keep some of my teeth in my old age. And I think that's a wonderful thing. And I think it's wonderful that they try to keep people from dying early and making sure that poor people have health care and that not every poor person has to go into debt just to stay healthy. That's a beautiful thing here in California, even with all of its imperfections. Every state should have health care for the poor. And these people that say, well, you got your immigrants and you're treating immigrants. You know, Ronald Reagan back in the 1980s, he passed a law saying that you had to give immigrants basic emergency care. So we don't have people walking around the streets just dying on the streets. We need to make sure that everybody can have emergency care and be taken care of, whether they have documentation or not. And you people that don't want people to have basic emergency care, I think you're just inhumane and cruel. We need to stand up for the rights of these people, especially these people that have been used for their labor for generations here in this country and not been given their rights, not been given a pathway to citizenship, because we let the employers bring in so many people without having any documentation for them. We let the employers underpay people and use people, and then when they're done with them, say, get out of the country. That's what these employers have been doing for generations. That's why we have tens of millions of people that are undocumented. We need to find a way for these people to have a pathway to citizenship. We need to change the quotas from certain countries so that more people can participate in our democracy. We don't need 5% of our workers here in this country not being able to participate in our democracy. That makes for a bad democracy. We're not trying to become like the Arab Emirates or some country that uses all of its labor from another country and doesn't give its laborers any rights. We're working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. So we need to bring those tens of millions of people into a pathway to citizenship to make sure that they get to be part of our vibrant democracy, of a vibrant democracy, peace, and make sure that everybody can have the same rights. Because we're not trying to get to a place where we have rulers and servants in this country. We're working towards a place where everybody can determine their own destiny. I'm not saying everybody should have the exact same, but everybody should have a good start in this country and have a good public education. Everybody should be able to have a good public education in this country. If you live in a poor area, you shouldn't have to have poor education. And we need to continue to invest in those poor areas because we're not trying to have rich cities like Santa Monica and poor cities like lower South Los Angeles. We have to keep investing in low-income areas, in their schools especially, lifting up those children and making sure that everybody can have a good start in this country. We need to show that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives and help lift people out of poverty. And we need to keep working to make sure that we find a pathway to citizenship for those people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. De la Sierra Morena, cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Es el lunar que tiene, cielito lindo, junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land. This land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. You know, if Trump had his way, he'd only let really rich people in this country. He's got a program for a Trump Gold Card. Pay $5 million and you can get right into the USA. Get your gold card today. Step right into the USA, no need to stand in line. $5 million will do just fine. Forget you're tired, forget you're poor. Send your rich through our front door. We don't care about equal rights when making money is in our sights. Get your gold card today. Step right into the US of A. That's what Trump would do. He would make sure that every rich person moves into this country, and we push all the poor people down the road. Only let them in to do servants' work, and then ship them out to another country when they're done. That's what they would like to do. But we need to find a pathway to citizenship for all of our workers here in the United States of America. All of those people that have been used for their labor and not been given their rights. We need to show the rest of the world we're not about just taking advantage of poor people and using them for their labor and chewing them up and spitting them out. We care about everybody's well-being. We're not going to try to starve the poor people to keep them from asking for affordable health care. That's not the kind of country we want to be. We don't want to sell all of our country out to the highest bidder. Get your gold card today. Step right into the USA. No need to stand in line. $5 million will do just fine. Forget your tired, forget your poor. Send your rich through our front door. We don't care about human rights. And making money is in our sights. Get your gold card today. Step right into the US of A. That's what Trump says. But we need to stand up for the rights of everybody. We need to stand up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, and find a pathway to citizenship for those that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. Ay, canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. One more time, here we go. Ay, 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 ay. Canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make sure this land is made for every one of us. No matter your race, your religion, your ethnicity, your beliefs, your gender, whether you're rich or poor, whether you are documented or undocumented, we need to find a pathway to citizenship for those people that have been used for their labor and not been given their rights. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Hey! That's right, we need to keep standing up because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't near gotten there yet. We have way too many cities like Santa Monica that are mostly rich white people. That's right, all along the coast here in California. We have 800 miles of public beaches here in California, and mostly rich white people live next to those public beaches. Why is that? There's no reason for that. It's just that these cities all got built pushing the poor people out. They pushed the poor people out, and when you push all the poor people out, you're going to push out a lot of people of color. And that's what's happened. Of course, there was a time here in Los Angeles County when people of color could not purchase housing in certain areas like parts of Santa Monica and other areas all around Los Angeles and all around Orange County, all around Southern California. and all around the country. We're not that far removed from a time when they had red lines around areas where you couldn't sell housing to people of color. So we still have to keep integrating because we haven't gotten to a place where we have integration. We have too many cities like Santa Monica that are segregated because we push out all the poor people. So we have to keep working towards a better, more integrated country where everybody has the basics. There's no reason for rich people to be having space races while poor people sleep in the streets. There's no reason at all. We can do better than that. We can make sure that everybody has the basics in the richest, most powerful country in the world. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread, just looking for some place to lay their weary heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street, just looking for some place to lay their tired feet. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying it didn't help to bring it on. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong, and they're looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tearing down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move into your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. A lot of people ask me, they say, Wade, why do you pick on Santa Monica so much? Well, that's where I am. I'm in Santa Monica. I've been out here for years. I used to play in clubs here and, perform different kinds of entertainment in clubs here back in the 90s. And I've worked in TV and film around here. And then 10 years ago, I decided, hey, you know what? I don't want to keep making phone calls and trying to get myself into some door that people don't necessarily want me in. I think I'll just go and play love songs and peace and love songs on the 3rd Street Promenade and just try and make things better where I am. And then I got out here and I started playing love songs and peace and love songs, and I saw the way they treated the homeless human beings here in Santa Monica and the poor people on this public promenade. That's right, this is a public promenade, I like to remind people, because it is very unique. We've got like 3 blocks here that are all closed down to traffic, and it's all public promenade. And if you are homeless, let me remind you, if you are on this public promenade, you have the same rights as the richest person in the whole wide world. Although they will try to treat you differently. And these business owners want to get the poor people off of this public promenade. They've been trying to do it for years. They used to have they used to have actual permanent seating here on this public promenade, but they didn't like poor people and homeless people sitting on those public permanent seating apparati. So they lifted all of those public permanent seating spaces, and they tried different kinds of things that they would only want the tourists to sit on and people that looked like they had a lot of money. Because some people want to turn this public promenade into the Grove, which we have here over in Los Angeles, or Disneyland, or Rodeo Drive. They want only rich people to be able to come on this public promenade. And I say, no, hey, back up. This promenade belongs to all of us, and we need to keep reminding these business owners. Now, I don't necessarily want these business owners to go out of business, but I sure want them to be more kind to the homeless and to those that enjoy just being on this promenade, because they don't have to buy anything. They could just come here and sit around this topiary. The topiary is actually one of the only places on the promenade where there is a no sitting, no lying exemption to the no sitting, no lying law. You can sit on these concrete slabs around this topiary, and you can be exempt from anybody telling you, hey, you can't sit there. Because in the ordinance here in the city, they say that if you sit on those concrete slabs or on those stairs, that you have a right to do that any time of day. And actually, there was a police officer at one time threatening people, Lieutenant DeAndrea, wherever you are, he was threatening people with citations for sitting on the concrete slabs around the topiary. And I said, you're not supposed to do that. Why are you harassing these homeless people? They sit there all the time. At the time, I didn't know it was actually in the books that there was an exemption for the topiary of all places. Anyway, so they try to make it harder for homeless people on this promenade. They have these chairs that they lock up at night so that nobody can sit on them, or nobody can lay on any of the chairs or tables, because they don't want homeless people to be comfortable. And at the same time, Santa Monica has not built nearly enough affordable housing for the homeless population that they have. And they do not have enough shelter beds for the homeless population that they do have. I mean, I often tell a homeless person where to go here in Santa Monica to get a night's sleep. But there are no shelter beds here in Santa Monica that are open tonight or any night. They're all filled. They have to be referred, the homeless people have to be referred to these shelters. Otherwise, they'll send them out they'll send them way out somewhere, Bell or some other place over in the inland, just to try to get people out of the city. And they try to push them all down the road instead of building affordable housing or enough shelter beds or enough help for the people that are here. They say, well, these people aren't our residents. They're all coming from the metro, and ever since the metro's been open, that was something somebody was saying to me today. I have to lock my door now that the metro comes here to Santa Monica. I said, don't we want to make it easier for people to be able to use their public beaches? Is that not important? Do we want to be like one of these segregated cities that want to keep all the poor people from even walking on their streets? Are we trying to be a gated community here in Santa Monica? Or do we believe in equal rights, equal justice? Are we trying to work to integrate our society? That's the question. Do we want to be like one of these gated communities where all the rich people make sure that anybody walking on the street at night is taken into custody and moved out of town? Or do we want to be a place that is open to helping people that are in your city that need help? Because as Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the test of our progress is not whether we add to the abundance of those who have much. The test of our progress is whether we provide enough for those who have too little. And if that is the test of our progress, Santa Monica, we are failing. Los Angeles County, we are failing. California, we are failing. We need to build affordable housing. We gave our governor $24 billion to build affordable housing. And for some reason, they can't account for most of that. It's a real shame. We need affordable housing in rich people's communities so that we can keep integrating and we don't just have rich communities and poor communities. That's a shame. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tax cuts for the rich. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move into your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rents. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move into your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Thank you, peace. I'll be sharing that with the homeless. Thank you. Look for somewhere, looking for somewhere. Somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king-size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Hey, hey, hey! That's right, 800 miles of public beaches here in California and mostly rich white people living next to those beaches. As for that man who said, you know, I never used to lock my door before they brought the metro into Santa Monica, I said to him, well, you need to have services in place to help with all the growing number of people coming from different parts. But we need to be welcoming. You know, it's never going to be perfect. We're working towards a more perfect union, establishing justice, ensuring domestic tranquility, providing for the common defense, promoting the general welfare, and securing the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. So it's never going to be perfect, but we need to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We can't give up and say, no, it's too hard. It's too hard to make sure that the poor people have a decent place to live. It's too hard to make sure that everybody can have good, affordable health care. It's too hard to make sure that everybody can have good diet, a good food source. But the answer is not to starve the poor, as our fearless leader has tried to do during this government shutdown. That's right. While the government was shut down and we were trying to get affordable health care for people, our president said he wanted to starve the poor. I'm going to play this a few times because I'm still working this song out. And I hope you sing along and enjoy it. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to the floor. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is gonna work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. 'Cause if you don't feed them, you don't have to treat them. And since he can't eat them, he'll starve the poor. 'Cause if you don't food them, you don't have to include them. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. Too many poor folks getting fat. Only a president should be able to look like that. Trump's new plan for health care, Obamacare no more. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is gonna work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Now the courts told him, they said, Mr. President, you got an emergency fund there that is supposed to go to feed the poor during a shutdown or an emergency. He said, no, I want to starve the poor. And they said, Mr. President, you can't starve the poor. He said, I want to starve the poor. They said, Mr. President, you can't starve the poor. He said, I want to starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is going to work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Because if they're digesting, they might be protesting. And rich folks investing, starve the poor. And if they are eating, they might need some treating. Rich people repeating, starve the poor. Finding affordable health care is a waste of time. You can fix the kids from being sick without spending one thin dime. Trump's new plan for health care is better than before. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. 'Cause if you don't feed them, you don't have to treat them. And since he can't eat them, he'll starve the poor. 'Cause if you don't food them, you don't have to include them. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. Since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. That's right. That's his answer. That's what I want us to remember during this shutdown. Our president wanted to starve the poor. While the Democrats were saying, listen, we want affordable health care for people, he said, well, if you want affordable health care for people, I'll starve the poor. I hope everybody remembers that, because that is evil. That's evil. And we need to know what evil looks like. And when somebody tries to starve, when somebody picks on the poorest people in our country over and over, he wants to pick on the people that have been used for their labor for generations and not been given their rights. And he wants to pick on people that can't afford food. Because the rich people have beaten down on the poor people for so long. You know, many of these people are working jobs and they still have to get food stamps because they don't make enough money from the jobs that we give them here in this country. So let's remember, Trump wants to starve the poor. If you leave with nothing else tonight, just remember that Trump's new health care plan is to starve the poor. You know, I wanted him to do good. I wanted him to do better his second term in office. I wanted him to stand up for their human rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. I didn't think he would, but I didn't think he was going to tell the Supreme Court that he wanted to starve the poor. That's just a shame. So we know what the evil side looks like. Now we have to figure out what we're going to do to make things better for people. The people that want to make things better for people. We have to get behind some programs that are going to help lift people out of poverty. Because we obviously have not had good leadership in this country to get the progressive things done. So we need to stand up and tell our leaders, listen, let's make sure that we build affordable housing, that we put that at the forefront, and that we make sure that everybody can have food to eat, health care. You know, there are still people going bankrupt in this country because of their medical bills, needed medical bills. I'm not talking about getting your plastic surgery done. I'm talking about people are going bankrupt because they might die if they don't get the medical services that they need. And that's a shame. Too many states without poor people health insurance, and we need to make the whole health insurance, health care plans, we need to make them better for everybody in this whole country. Because we can do better things. We live in the land of milk and honey. There's plenty. No reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We need to raise taxes on the rich, 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 raise taxes on the rich. You know that the rich are doing just fine. You don't have to worry about them. Today, the stock market broke records again. We just came out of a shutdown, and they were still breaking records in the stock market. Rich people are getting richer and richer, while poor people are getting poorer and poorer. So we need to stand up for the rights of poor human beings to exist. A lot of people say to me, these homeless people just need to get a job. That's what they need. Well, the thing is, even those people that do have jobs, there are a lot of homeless people that do have jobs that can't afford a place to live. Not here in Los Angeles County, and certainly not here in Santa Monica, California. We have our government blaming poor people for being poor and making it harder for them to survive at the same time. Too many of our leaders say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. We'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. You know, I'm serving on this committee, this Measure GS committee here in Santa Monica, and it's a committee to oversee, resident oversight committee for Measure GS, which is a tax on every sale of property over $8 million, and it's about 5% of that. And they have $38 million sitting in an account right now that they haven't used. This tax was put in place in 2022. They have $38 million sitting in an account trying to figure out, how do we use this money to help people stay in the housing that they have and help build affordable housing. And, you know, the only money so far that they've spent is to hire somebody to administrate some programs, and those programs are programs. One of them is a program to help push poor people out of Santa Monica. That's the kind of thing Santa Monica spends money on. They don't have any.
Play something so I can sing with you.
Okay. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now.
I don't know that song.
Love, sweet love. You know?
He knows it. Go ahead.
I don't know. Nah, fuck that. Come on, let's go.
It's the only thing that there's just too little of. How about
Hold on. How about this? Play that, and then let me just ad-lib on.
all right, I'll play a verse of that.
We gonna ad-lib on my own little rap to it, though.
What's your name?
My name is Bone.
This is Bone. Bone's here. He's gonna rap a little bit. How about rap to this? It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love.
The world didn't fall off in the peace life, but everybody knows something about a real life. You don't understand what it is when people's been living on the street and ain't nobody been living life. You gotta understand what it is when life is. Not gonna live life when life is, but you gotta know life will always be life in. Understand this, the country's always been falling. We always been balling, but ain't nobody ever want to do anything but fall off without no love.
The only thing
You gotta understand the truth is,
my
the
heart
truth is though,
thinking of.
ain't nobody understanding the truth when the truth is speaking on. So, understand the roof is this. Life will always be.
Little bit of
But life
love
will
and
always
peace and
be.
lead.
Understand that.
Cause when the peace and love are gone.
We all need peace.
Thank you, Bone. All right, Bone. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bringing some home to little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the dope. Cause when the hope and the joy are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about joy. It's about you. It's about me. It's about you and me working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about you. Good to see you, please. It's about me. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Evenu shalom alechem, Evenu shalom alechem, Evenu shalom alechem, Evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. It's about peace, it's about love, it's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love, it's about peace, it's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace, it's about love, love, love. Oh, it's all about love. That's right, it's all about peace and love. That's what working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity is all about. It's about spreading the peace and love around a little better. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. There's no reason for so many people to be suffering. I know it's never going to be perfect, but we're a long ways from perfect right now when we have so many people that are living in the streets, where we have so many people who are doing without health care. We are a long ways from perfect, so we have to keep working towards a better day for everybody. So tell your leaders, your public servants, we can do better. Let's keep working towards a better day. And vote for people who are going to help lift people out of poverty. Work towards making sure that everybody can have a good public education, good, decent place to live, food to eat, and good quality health care. Because we don't need more people like this evildoer in the White House. Anybody who wants to starve the poor people. That's the last straw. There's been a lot of straws, a lot of straw. But back to the Measure GS Resident Oversight Committee here in Santa Monica, California, where they have $38 million in an account and they're trying to figure out how to use it. The only money that's been used was to hire somebody to manage these programs. Some of these programs are about getting the poor people out of Santa Monica, pushing them down the road. You know, they have all over Los Angeles County and California and many of the western states, since Grants Pass versus Johnson, they have been tearing down people's encampments. They've been hiring a lot of people to tear down encampments and to push people down the road without having any place for these poor people to go. We need to stand up for their rights to have a decent place to live, food to eat, and health care, good public education. We need to stop spending so much money on cleaning up after people and spend more money on helping people to be able to take care of themselves by having a decent place to live. Think of peace. And making sure that everybody can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. We have too many of our leaders saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. You know, I've grown to have what I think is a healthy disdain for rich people in my life. You know, I started having this Okay, I don't want to say I hate rich people. I don't hate anybody. I've worked for a lot of rich people, and I've seen the way they treat poor people, a lot of them. And we need to stand up for the rights of everybody in this country. And if you're a rich person here in California and you think that we shouldn't raise your taxes because you're too good, we need to raise your taxes. A lot of people say to me, wait, if you raise the taxes on the rich in California, where the taxes are already too high, that's what they say. If you raise the taxes on the rich, all the rich people are going to leave California. And I say, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. If you're the kind of rich person that thinks it's okay for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while you live in luxury and have an island, or maybe you're having your own space races, if you think that that's okay, that poor people sleep in the streets while you have a lifestyle like that, then we don't need you here. You can follow Elon Musk to Texas, where he will take advantage of the poor people down there and make life harder for them. We need to stand up for the rights of the poor in California, because we have the most billionaires of any state in the whole country, and we have the most homeless people of any state in the whole country. That ought to be a crime. There's no reason for so few people to have so much, while so many have nothing at all. And we have our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, while they're patting the backs of those rich people who are making it harder and harder for poor people to survive. Too many of our leaders saying, don't be poor and homeless, don't be poor and sick, they'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. Hey, but they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. You know, that's what you gotta do, live in a mansion. All the rich folks wanna help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard or near a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. You gotta get a yacht, you know what I mean? All the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair. We'll take the chair from right under your butt and leave you sitting in the street and make it all your fault. We'll tell you that you're homeless and you're full of bugs. We'll say you're mostly crazy and you're on all those kind of drugs. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. That's right, homeless people. Just be rich. So we need to tell our leaders, you gotta kind of help a little bit. You gotta kind of help lift the people up a little bit. If they're living in the streets, getting a minimum wage job isn't going to be the answer, is it? Because they're not going to have a place to live right away. And it's kind of hard to work a full-time job when you're homeless. I know some people who've done that, and they were always struggling because, you know, they don't have a good place to keep their clothes and keep their stuff. You know, if they find you on the street and you have too many bags, they'll make you move all of your belongings into a 60-gallon bag and throw away the rest of the stuff. And they just make it harder and harder for these homeless people instead of building affordable housing and making it easier for them to get into some more stable, a more stable environment. A lot of people say these homeless people are all mentally ill or they're on drugs. You know, those people have the same rights as you and I. People who are mentally ill have the same rights as you and I. People who have substance abuse disorders have the same rights as you and I. And we should all have the basics in this country. And it's going to be a lot easier for somebody with a mental disability or a physical disability or a substance abuse disorder. It's going to be much easier for them to move forward with their life if they have a stable place to live, if they have some stability in their life. That's why we need to make sure that we're lifting people up instead of pushing people down all the time. We need to keep giving them a hand to help lift them out of poverty instead of pushing people back down in poverty all the time and making it harder for them to survive. I sure hope we can get some of our leaders to move forward, because we live in the land of milk and honey. There's plenty. No reason for the poor people to be sleeping in the streets. While rich people are having space races, we can do better. How you doing tonight? Good to see you. Peace. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's, just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. Peace, good to see you. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's, just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. We don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. So listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is need to spread the love around a little better. If I could take you to be with me and hug and kiss till you feel free. Oh, I would, you know I would. If I could, you know I would. If I could heal the hurt you've had and shield your heart from all that's bad. Oh, I would, you know I would. If I could, you know I would. But as it is, I'm just a man. Walks the road the best he can. And I have struggled neath the load. And I am weary of this road. But I will carry through if I can walk with you. If I could take you to the stars and hear you laughing up on Mars. Oh, I would, you know I would. If I could, you know I would. But as it is, I'm just a man, getting through the best I can. And I have failed in love before, and I can see that closing door, but I will carry through if I can walk with you. But as it is, I'm just a man, getting through the best I can. And I have failed in love before, and I can see that closing door, but I will carry through if I can walk with you. That's right, it's just about singing love songs. Sometimes, you know, the love song is about lifting people out of poverty and making things better for people. Sometimes it's about sweethearts and kissing. And sometimes it's just silliness. Life is just a bowl of cherries. Don't take it serious, it's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. Life is just a bowl of cherries, so live and laugh at it all. Life is just a bowl of cherries, don't take it serious, it's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. Life is just a bowl of cherries, so live and laugh at it all. Keep repeating, it's the berries. Even the strongest oak must fall. The sweet things in life to you are just loan. So how can you lose what you never even owned? Life is just a bowl of cherries, so live it, love it. Wiggle your ears and think nothing of it. You can't do without it, there's no two ways about it. Just live and laugh at it all. That's right. You got to keep laughing and living and loving and keep working towards a better day for everybody. That ain't too much to ask out of life. Just have fun. You know, sometimes I have to remember, this is all, I have to enjoy this journey. I have to enjoy standing up for human rights and equal justice. We have to enjoy that. That's a beautiful thing. It reminds me of John Lewis. John Lewis said, "Do not get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful. Be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, of a week, of a month, of a year. Our struggle is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise, to get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble." And he was talking about peaceful protest. That's right. They practiced peaceful protest in the civil rights era, the civil rights marches. They practiced being spat upon and called names so they wouldn't react with violence. And some great positive change came out of that era. I'm not saying those people should have been spat upon or that they should have been beaten and injured the way that John Lewis and others were, and of course Martin Luther King lost his life. That's all very sad. It's a terrible tragedy, and it's terrible that we have to go through those sorts of things for this country to move forward. But we're not going to get anywhere if we use violence, because that's only going to turn people against change, and it is only going to end up in the people that are committing violence being hurt more. If you see federal officers out there, ICE officers or different whatever officers out there doing something you think is wrong, take out your phones, record it. Make sure that the authorities know and that we use the judicial processes. We've been winning a lot on the judicial processes, and we need to continue going that route. Ain't nothing good gonna come from a violent revolution in this country. And I hope I'm not alive to see any of that. We've already seen too much violence from too many people, and we need to stand up for peaceful protest, peaceful speech. Get out there. You young people that are talking about violence is the only answer. You need to do more nonviolent activities to show. Get out there and have sit-ins. Get out there and have peaceful protest and walkouts, and get yourselves arrested peacefully. Stand in lines and peacefully get arrested. Make a change that way instead of using violence. We don't need anybody to cheer on assassins. Do not cheer on assassins. Get out there, use your First Amendment rights. Get out here on this public promenade and use your voices and share your thoughts and your beliefs. have people tell you that you're wrong and yell at you and things like that. I hear a lot of that. And I'd like to see more people using our public promenade here in Santa Monica. It is a very unique thing. And I've gone to court a few times, federal court here in Los Angeles. I had to fight for my right to peacefully protest here on this public promenade without a performer's permit. So I hope you get out and exercise your First Amendment right. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. And that's what I'm doing here tonight. Mother, mother, there are too many of you crying. Brother, 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 far too many of you dying. We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, Father, there's no need to escalate. War is not the answer, for only love can conquer hate. We've got to find a way to bring some understanding here today. Picket signs and picket lines don't punish me with brutality. Just talk with me and you will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Mother, mother, who are they to say we're wrong? Who are they to judge us just because our hair is long? We've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Picket signs and picket lines don't punish me with brutality. Just talk with me and you will see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? That's right, it's just about spreading love around a little better, making sure that everybody can have the basics in the richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. And standing up against hate and racism whenever we hear it, whenever we see it. Don't stand by while people degrade people because of their ethnicity or their religious beliefs. There's a lot of crazy religious beliefs out there, and that's all right. That's the beautiful thing about this country is Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. I say the sometimes, or most of the time. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. It's a beautiful thing. People have all kinds of different beliefs in this country, and that's wonderful. I hope your beliefs help you work to work for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. I hope you're inspired to do great things and help lift people out of poverty and have a government that actually works for the poor and those in need instead of standing up for the rich. The rich people don't need any help. I don't know if you've noticed. They're doing pretty well. They got their toys right here in the streets. All over the streets, they have their toys making more money for the rich people every day. The gap between the poor and the rich has grown and grown and grown. Today there was another record on the stock market. But we need our government to stand up for the poor and make sure that everybody can have a decent life in this richest, most powerful country in the world. Thank you, peace. We have too many people standing up for the rich people and their toys. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people, good to see you, Ping. And rich people's toys, that's right. Right over here, I don't know if you can see them. I think you can see them a little bit. You can see right over there, they got those little robots that used to be human beings standing over there waiting to deliver something from the restaurants when they're open. But now they have little cocoa robots that go and deliver food to people. And, that's fine. A lot of people didn't want to do those jobs, but if you're going to take all those jobs away from people and have driverless cars and driverless trucks and everything like that, you're going to have to make sure that human beings can survive a little better in this richest, most powerful country in the world. So we need to stand up for the rights of human beings as we're advancing into this technological age, and more jobs are going to be going to artificial intelligence and robots and such. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. That's right. We've got to keep working towards a better day. And we're going to get through this time. Hopefully we're going to move to lift people out of poverty and move to a more progressive government. Hopefully Katie Porter here in California will become a very progressive governor. I'm hoping. I think she can get some things done. I hope she's progressive and wants to build affordable housing for poor people. I've heard her say a few things like that, but we've seen from our Democratic leaders collapsing a little bit because they didn't really have an idea of what they were totally doing before they closed down the government. They knew they wanted to do something, but it would have been nice if they would have said from the beginning, listen, we want 1 year extension of the Obamacare subsidies, and we'll keep the government shut down until that happens, and get all your Democratic leaders on board, all your Democratic Congress members. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And now they folded. But one thing we know during this shutdown is that President Trump wanted to starve the poor people. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to the floor. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is gonna work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Cause if you don't feed them, you don't have to treat them. And since he can't eat them, he'll starve the poor. Cause if you don't food them, then you don't have to include them. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care, Obamacare no more. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care is gonna work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Too many poor folks getting fat. Only a president should be able to look like that. Trump's new plan for health care is gonna work for sure. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. And the courts told him, the judges, they told him, listen, there's a emergency fund that you can use to help pay for food for these poor people during this shutdown. And he says, I don't want to feed the poor people. They said, you gotta feed the poor people. And he said, I want to starve the poor. And they said, no, Mr. President, you gotta feed the poor people. He said, I want to starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care, Obamacare no more. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor, because if they're digesting, they may be protesting. Rich folks are investing in starve the poor, because if they are eating, they might need treating. Rich folks are repeating, starve the poor. Working on health care is a waste of time. He'll keep the kids from getting sick on less than one thin dime. Trump's new plan for health care is coming to the floor. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Trump's new plan for health care, Obamacare no more. Trump's new plan for health care is starve the poor. Because if you don't feed them, you don't have to treat them. And since he can't eat them, he'll starve the poor. If you don't food them, then you don't have to include them. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. And since he can't shoot them, he'll starve the poor. That is one thing we have learned during this government shutdown, and I want everybody to remember it, please. We can do better than that. We can work towards a better day, keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. How much does it cost to live? How much should you have to pay? How much should you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful country on the face of the earth? How much does the rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the days when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much? How much? How much? How much? How much? How much? That's right. How much does it cost to live? How much should you have to pay? How much do you have to earn to live for one more day? How much does it cost to live before your life has worth? And tell me, how hard should you have to struggle to survive? How hard should you have to struggle to survive in the richest, most powerful, most abundant country on the face of the earth? How much does a rich man want? How much does he have to keep before he can say it's okay for poor people to sleep? How much do the greedy want for poor folks to eat? And tell me, when will we see the end of the days? When will we see the end of the days when human beings have to sleep in the streets? How much? How much? How much? How much? How much? How much? Thank you, peace and love.